Hello and welcome, FPL managers. Welcome to Ghono Football Fantasy, and we are of course back on Tuesday. বরাবরের মতোই আমরা আজকেও ব্যাক করেছি, and of course we are here to discuss about Game Week 11. আমার এতই গেম উইক খারাপ যাচ্ছে যে আমার বারবারে মাথার মধ্যে গেম উইক 10 ঘুরতেছে এখনো। সো বলতে বলতে আমি হঠাৎ করে বলেই ফেলছিলামই আরেকটু হইলে যে ওয়েলকাম টু গেম উইক 10, বাট নো, আসলে গেম উইক 10 না, গেম উইক 11, and that is particularly because আমার খুবই খারাপ অবস্থা যাচ্ছে। But anyway, I think everybody is having a very, very bad game weeks. And বিগত 4 গেম উইক ধরেই হচ্ছে। আমার চেলসি ডিফেন্সের সাথে একটা অন্যরকম রোম্যান্স চলতেছে, which I will come to it when I talk about my team. But বাকি সবকিছু আলোচনা করার জন্য আমাদের আজকে যে মূল আলোচনাটা সেটা হলো পয়েন্টস কোথায় থেকে আসলে আসতেছে সেটা আমরা একটু দেখার চেষ্টা করব। বাট টু কভার অল দ্য কন্টেন্টস, I have two interesting people with me. One is Saif. Saif, you're back again. Welcome back.
Thank you, bhai. Good to be back.
And Ashfaq, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Right. So good to have you guys. Good to have you. And of course, we have a little bit of quite a lot of content to cover. So let's quickly start on that. But before we do, as usual, I always say one thing. Sheta holo je, this is our Footalochona, the FPL Ghono show. And of course, we do it every Monday. And what we try to do in this one is we kind of cover এটা আমাদের একটা প্রিভিউ শো বেসিক্যালি, অ্যান্ড সেই প্রিভিউ শোকে কভার করার জন্যই আসলে আমরা বেসিক্যালি এই শোটা করে থাকি, যেখানে আমরা অনেক কিছু আলোচনা করি। অ্যান্ড অফকোর্স সেটা এই ধরনের ভিডিওগুলো রেগুলার দেখার জন্য আমি আপনাদের কাছে রিকোয়েস্ট করবো যে প্লিজ সাবস্ক্রাইব করবেন এবং আমাদের ফেসবুক এবং টুইটার পেজকে কাইন্ডলি একটু ফলো করবেন। সো দ্যাটস দ্যাট, বাট উই অলরেডি হ্যাভ ফিউ কমেন্টস কামিং ইন, অ্যান্ড বিশেষ করে আমাদেরকে ওয়েলকাম জানানো হচ্ছে। সো বেসিক্যালি যারা আমাদেরকে বরাবরের মতো ওয়েলকাম জানায়, সো লেটস জাস্ট ব্রিং দ্যাট কমেন্টস আপ ফার্স্ট। ইয়া, সো you know the regular face, Arabic Bhai. He's the first one always to share his love. Thank you, Bhai. Thank you so much. আবারও জয়েন করার জন্য। And of course, Dilwar Taha is another one.
One of
Hello,
these
Dilwar.
days, I would really like to know his name.
Yeah, me too. Parvez was trying to read his Arabic name. I couldn't read.
Right.
And Saif is now
Salam.
trying.
Last part is salam.
Okay.
Amin al
Yeah,
salam, I
then-
guess. Amin al salam, I guess.
Amin al salam.
ওকে, আরাবিক ভাই, যদি আমরা আপনার নামটাকে রাইটলি বলে থাকি, ইউ ক্যান অলওয়েজ রিভিল দি আনসার। আপনি আমাদেরকে আনসার শেয়ার করতে পারেন, অ্যান্ড অফকোর্স দ্য রাইট আনসার উইল গেট ইট। যদি রং হয়ে থাকে তাহলে বলার দরকার নেই, আমরা চেষ্টা করতেই থাকি, প্রত্যেক পদে আমরা এসে আপনার নাম চেষ্টা করবো না, ঠিক আছে ভাই? ওকে, that's good. Okay, and then there is another comment coming in, and from another very regular guy, Mahmudul Hassan Munim, good to have you back, bhai. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Wa alaikum assalam. So it's good to see, people like আমরা জয়েন করার সাথে সাথে এত ভালোবাসা, এত কিছু দেখায়, instead of bringing it at the end of the show, আর ওই যে আছে না শেষের দিকে আনা বা মধ্যের দিকে আনা, এটা না করে আমার কাছে মনে হয়েছে যে এগুলো আসলে প্রথম দিকেই মানুষের সাথে শেয়ার করা উচিত। So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, we have a lot to discuss. So let's do one thing. Let's go to the content. So first, I'm bringing Ashfaq to your team, and you got 47 minus 4. Take us through, Ashfaq. What was the main highlight?
সো আর কি আপনি আমার টিমটা দিয়ে স্টার্ট করলেন, এটা তো ডিসক্রিমিনেশন আসলে, এছাড়া কিছু না।
আমি ডিসক্রিমিনেশন করতে একটু ভালো লাগে আসলে।
So I have consecutive red arrows now. আমার টিমের সব থেকে বড় ট্র্যাজেডি আর কি সবাই খেয়াল করবেন ইজ দ্য কিপার সিচুয়েশন। So I have played Foster instead of Ramsdale a weekend because I fully expected Leicester to score. Ramsdale put on a wonderful keeping show. আসলে যে কারণে আসলে Ramsdale-কে আসলে in the first place নেওয়া হয়েছিল, Ramsdale showed his true colors only in the game where I benched him. Foster did not do too bad, but anyway, Ramsdale had an outstanding game. Otherwise, I think I was the other defenders. I think is the regular defenders. আমার এই উইকেট ট্রান্সফার ছিল ট্রেন্ট আলেকজান্ডার-আর্নল্ড and Foden. So Trent Alexander and Foden both were disappointments. Chancellor, I think বেশিরভাগ যাদের ownership আছে, I think was disappointed with Chancellor as well. My condolences to people who had double city defense, played double city defense. It goes to show actually defense is something that is very unpredictable, no matter how good the defense is. Captaincy I took gave Salah because মানে যেটা বলতাম ন্যাড়া বেলতলায় একবার যায়, তো গত গেম উইক 9-এ আমি বেলতলায় গিয়ে আমি এই উইক আর বেলতলায় যাই নাই, so I took the safe route. I kept my faith in Havertz earned a penalty, gave the assist. I expected better from Tony, but Brentford I think is showing to be a different team altogether without Raya. Armstrong gave the assist as well, so not too many complaints on that. Antonio, I think, was a disappointment too. So overall, 47 is above the game week average, I think, but still not a very good game week. But I think many people would share my current scenario. So I'm looking to bounce back. Let's see what happens next week.
Yeah, we are all looking to bounce back. I can tell you that. But let's go to a Saif's team, because he got 53, but he had -8. So Saif, over to you.
This was the game week I finally got rid of Shaw, and he kept a clean sheet. It's inevitable. But it's good that I don't have Shaw anymore. It feels good. So
It feels good.
I brought in Trent and Chilwell. So Chilwell returned 8 points, so I'm happy with that. And Trent started well, but Brighton came back very well in the game. Kudos to them. So, but going forward, I'm very happy to keep both of them, and also Rudiger and Livramento. But if I didn't take the -8 and Tierney didn't play, and if I just kept my team, then Gallagher would have come in. So I kept him at my third sub. I didn't expect him to get a double digit against City.
So 13 points against City. I think nobody expected that.
I don't think anybody expected that, but that was
no.
At least I didn't have any City defense. So
that was the biggest anomaly.
Yeah,
that was the biggest anomaly. Yeah.
I think Crystal Palace have been playing very well under Vieira, so and they have good fixtures. So I was actually planning to sell Gallagher, but I think keeping him can be a good option now. And I had Kane for the last 2 game weeks, but he disappointed big time. Now that Conte is here, I'm expecting big things from him now, and also the fixtures are pretty good. So I think I'll be rewarded sooner rather than later. And Sanchez, I didn't expect anything else, except for a few save points, but he only got 2. So the thing is, if despite my consecutive hits and 6 consecutive red arrows, I am finally quite content with my team going forward. So I'm planning to save a FT over the international break. So and to go into the international break with 2 FTs. So let's look forward to that.
Right. Okay. So here is a comment that I wanted to bring, which kind of resonates very well with us. সবারই একটু মনের কথাটাই বলতেছে. So this is a comment from Nafis Farhan Umair. Thank you so much, Bhai, for your comment. What a disastrous game week. Bhai, আপনি একা নন, আমরা সবাই আছি. So can't blame, really. It's a situation of Ashfaq, you're not the only one who played Foster over Ramsdale. Huh? You're not the only one. Munim also did the same thing. So you can understand that everybody is in more or less the same kind of a boat. So that's that. But anyway, I'll just.
But Munim by 62 is an excellent point score this week. I think average chilo around in the 40s or 38 or 40s mark.
Anything over 50 is pretty good.
Anything over 50 is excellent. Anything over 60 is pretty exceptional. So I congrats on the great week, in fact.
Okay.
Ronaldo,
because you guys are talking about
those who kept Ronaldo have been rewarded big time.
আচ্ছা ভাই, আপনারা ভাই 50 বলতেছেন, 60 বলতেছেন. What are you talking about, ভাই? Look at this. 40 পার হই নাই ভাই. What are you talking about 50? Seriously, what are you talking about 50?
তো আসলে মানে এই জিনিসটা যেটা সেটা হচ্ছে কি যে মানে যখনই মনে হয় যে আর কি এই উইকে মানে FPL আসলে খেলা ছেড়ে দিব, আসলে ডিজাস্টারাস উইক হয়েছে বা সামথিং আছে, তখন হচ্ছে এই ধরনের কিছু টিম হচ্ছে চোখে পড়ে। চোখে পড়ে নিউ ফাউন্ড ইয়া আসে, একটু মানে হোপ আসে,
ইন্সপিরেশন লাগে না, ইন্সপিরেশন
ইন্সপিরেশন
লাগে,
লাগে।
রাইট।
যেমন
ওকে,
ধরেন আপনার ওয়াইল্ড কার্ড টিমটা আপ আনটিল ট্রেন্ট অ্যান্ড সালাজ মানে লিভারপুল গেমটা, আপ আনটিল লিভারপুলের গেমটা
16
মানে
পয়েন্ট।
মানে আমি মানে দ্য টিম ওয়াজ আউটস্ট্যান্ডিং। আপনার যে প্লেয়ার খেলতেছে সেই এক দিতেছে, মানে ভার্ডি এক দেয়, এলনসি এক দেয়, ডিব্রুয়েন এক দেয়, সবাই এক করে পয়েন্ট দিতেছে। মানে আমি এই রকম ওয়াইল্ড কার্ড টিম আমি আগে কখনো দেখি নাই, যে ওয়াইল্ড কার্ড খেলে
না,
প্রত্যেকটা প্লেয়ার এক পয়েন্ট করে দিতেছে।
it was a
সো
binary team.
আমি
It was a
ভাবতেছিলাম যে
binary
একটা
wildcard team.
স্ক্রিনশট নিয়ে আমি এটা নিয়ে ডিসকাস করবো, যে এটা ইটস আ ইউনিক ইভেন্ট, এটা এক্সট্রাঅর্ডিনারি ইভেন্ট। বাট
হ্যাঁ,
ইভেনচুয়ালি
of course.
সালা আসলে পুষায় দিছে। আমার হ্যাভার্স ক্যাপ্টেন ছিল আর আপনাদের সালা ক্যাপ্টেন ছিল। সো
So
দ্যাটস
এভার্স ক্যাপ্টেন ছিল নাকি? এভার্স ক্যাপ্টেন ছিল।
Ashfaq, that's a very good start. I will tell you why. You তুমি অলরেডি মেনশন করছো যে ভাই আমাদের খারাপ যাচ্ছে, FPL খেলা বাদ দিব, ঠিক আছে, এরকম টিম দেখার পরে মনে হয় যে ভাই একটু ইন্সপিরেশন জাগে। আমি আরেকটা ইন্সপিরেশনাল ঘটনা বলি। গেম উইক 7-এ I took Alonso and Rudiger. I got 1 point. Alonso benched, Rudiger got injured. I got 1 point. Game week 8, I had Alonso.
অ্যালোনসো নিয়ে হচ্ছে গিয়ে ইউ ডিড নট স্ক্রু ইয়োরসেলফ, ইউ স্ক্রুড মানে এভরিওয়ান।
No, but this is not just about Alonso. This is a story. Please listen to it. কারণ এটাও তোমাকে
I will
ইন্সপিরেশন
never
দিবে।
forgive you for Alonso. I will never forgive
No,
you
but
for Alonso.
I kept
But
saying
listen to
that it
this
is
story.
Chilwell time.
Yeah, I kept saying Alonso, but this is not about Alonso, huh? This is about Chelsea defense. That's what I'm trying to say. So listen to the story until game week 10, and then you will understand what it is. So Alonso and Rudiger, 1 point. Next game week, it was again Alonso and Rudiger didn't play. Alonso didn't play. So it's still 1 point. Game week 9, I kicked them out. Wildcard khele, I took Aspilicueta, 0 point. Aspilicueta got injured and he was benched. Okay? And then game week 10, Aspilicueta is on the bench, 0 point. So 4 game week, I had 4 Chelsea defenders and I got 1 point. 1 point.
এইটার আসলে আমার রিমার্কস হচ্ছে গিয়ে, দিস ইজ হোয়াট হ্যাপেন্স, দিস ইজ অ্যাকচুয়ালি কল কার্মা, দিস ইজ হোয়াট হ্যাপেন্স when you have a মানে have an argument for
Yeah.
Chelsea defense, যে when I ask you about Chelsea defense, হ্যাঁ, in a live show, আর আপনি বলেন যে I want nothing to do with the Chelsea defense, and then you play your wild card and take Aspilicueta, হ্যাঁ, মানে আপনি বলেন একটা, আপনি করতেছেন আরেকটা, তো আপনার এরকম হওয়ারই কথা।
No, that was not the case. That was not the case. It might come across like that, but that is not the case. Last moment আমরা ডেডলাইন শোতে এটাও বলছিলাম, if you have understood and you watched it, I will tell you. ডেডলাইন শোতে আমরা দেখছিলাম যে অ্যাসপিলিকুয়েটার সাইড থেকে সবচেয়ে দুর্বল ছিল হলো নরউইচের জায়গা, and that is why I took Aspilicueta. And ultimately Aspilicueta খেলে নাই, and James went and scored 1 goal. So it's, আর ওই দিক থেকেই Mount scored a hat-trick and an assist. So it wasn't
Mount scoring a hat-trick was an anomaly.
Yeah, but you're missing the point, Ashfaq. You're missing the point, Ashfaq. You're missing the point. What I'm trying to say is, আমরা বলছিলাম ডান দিকে তাদের দুর্বল ছিল, and আমি জানতাম Aspilicueta sure shot ডান দিকে সেই খেলবে, so I took Aspilicueta at the very last moment. That is the main point. So it's not about Mount scoring. It's about Mount scoring from that particular side. So analysis অনুযায়ী it was the right decision. It was just the wrong selection of players. আমার just হচ্ছে না আর কি, সত্যি কথা। But anyway, let's not dwell into this too much. Let's move to the next topic, to be honest. And that is, of course, the results. So let me just tell you the results of the game week. So এখন পর্যন্ত আমাদের অ্যালগোরিদম যেটা বলতেছে, so লাস্ট উইকে গেম উইক আমরা যেটা দেখলাম আর কি, সেটা হলো আউটকাম আনলো 42% and ওভারঅল আমাদের 46%, যেটা আমাদের ধীরে ধীরে বাড়ছে। সো আউটকাম আমরা হলুদগুলো যেগুলো দেখছি সেগুলো মোটামুটি আমাদের কারেক্ট আউটকাম ছিল। আমরা এখন পর্যন্ত 100টা ম্যাচে প্রেডিক্ট করেছি, তার মধ্যে কারেক্ট আউটকাম হয়েছে 44টি, পার্সেন্টেজ আসছে হলো 44%, কারেক্ট স্কোর আসছে মাত্র 9টা। কারেক্ট স্কোর বেসিক্যালি হলো GFF সাজেস্টেড স্কোর, যেটা ডান দিকে এক্সট্রিম বক্সে আছে, সেটা হলো স্কোর লাইন আর কি, সেটার কারেক্ট স্কোর হলো 9টা, এবং সেটার কারেক্ট পার্সেন্টেজ হলো মাত্র 9। ক্লিন শিট প্রেডিকশন যেটা আমাদের অ্যালগোরিদম করছে আর কি, সেটা হলো বাম দিকে, সেখানে আমরা দেখছি যে 43টা অলরেডি ক্লিন শিট আমরা প্রেডিক্ট করতে পেরেছি, এবং তার মধ্যে কারেক্ট আসছে হলো 21টি, এবং পার্সেন্টেজ হলো 49। সো বেসিক্যালি হাফের চেয়ে বেশি আমরা ক্লিন শিট প্রেডিকশন করতে পারছি, এবং আমাদের আউটকামটা আলটিমেটলি অ্যালগোরিদম এখন পর্যন্ত 44% কারেক্টলি শো করতে পারছে। সো ইটস গুড দ্যাট দ্য অ্যালগোরিদম ইজ ওয়ার্কিং আসলে। ঠিক আছে, আমাদের নিজেদের হিউম্যান প্রেডিকশনটা আলটিমেটলি ইজ নট গেটিং ভেরি ওয়েল। এনিওয়ে, মুভিং অন টু দি নেক্সট ফিক্সচার উইচ ইজ গেম উইক 11। সো অ্যালগোরিদম অনুযায়ী যদি আমি দেখি তাহলে দিস ইজ সাউদাম্পটন ইজ প্রেডিক্টেড টু স্কোর 1.7। সো বেসিক্যালি 2টা গোল দিতেও পারে, আবার নাও দিতে পারে, বাট 2টা গোল হওয়ার একটা পসিবিলিটি আছে, যেখানে অ্যাস্টন ভিলের কোনো একটা গোল দেওয়ার একটা সম্ভাবনা আছে। সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই ইট ওয়েন্ট ফর 2-1। ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড এক গোল দেওয়ার না দেওয়ারই সম্ভাবনা, কিন্তু ম্যানচেস্টার সিটিকে এখানে প্রায় 2টো বা 2টোর এক বেশিও গোল দিতে পারে, সেটা প্রেডিক্ট করা হচ্ছে, অ্যালগোরিদম প্রেডিক্ট করছে আর কি। ঠিক আছে, আমাদের হিউম্যান প্রেডিকশনটা দেখা যাচ্ছে 2-1। ব্রেন্টফোর্ড এবং নরউইচের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা যেটা দেখতে পাচ্ছি সেটা হলো যে এখানে ব্রেন্টফোর্ডকে অ্যাটলিস্ট একটা অথবা 2টা দিতে পারে, বাট নরউইচ কোনো গোল দিতে পারবে না, এটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে। সো দ্যাটস দ্য প্রেডিকশন। চেলসি 2টো দিবে মিনিমাম, এটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে, বাট বার্নলি খুব বেশি একটা দিতে পারে, বাট একটা দেওয়ারও চান্সেস খুবই লো, আনটিল আনলেস দের ইজ অ্যান এরার আর কি। ক্রিস্টাল প্যালেস একটা ডেফিনেটলি দিবে, উইলস প্রবাবলি একটা দিয়ে দিবে। সো দ্যাটস হোয়াট দ্য অ্যালগোরিদম ইজ প্রেডিক্টিং। ব্রাইটনের ক্ষেত্রে, ব্রাইটন আর নিউক্যাসলের ক্ষেত্রে অ্যাগেন ইটস 2-1, এটা যেটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে আর কি, যদিও আমাদের হিউম্যান প্রেডিকশন হলো 2-0। আর্সেনাল এবং ওয়াটফোর্ডের ক্ষেত্রে আমি যদি বলি, দিস ইজ গোইং টু বি অ্যান ইন্টারেস্টিং গেম, রেনেরি ভার্সেস আর্টেটা। সো দ্যাটস আনাদার ওয়ান। সো 2টা গোল আর্সেনালকে প্রেডিক্ট করা হচ্ছে, ওয়ারাজ ওয়াটফোর্ডের ক্ষেত্রে বলা হচ্ছে 1.2। সো বেসিক্যালি একটা গোল দিলেও ওয়াটফোর্ড দিতে পারে। Watford and Tottenham, I don't know if the new manager effect will change things, but at least algorithm cannot take that into consideration. So algorithm যেটা বলতেছে সেটা হলো এভারটন একটা গোল দিবে, and of course টটেনহাম একটা গোল at least দিবে। লিডস 2টো দিতে পারে এবং লিস্টার 2টো দিতে পারে। সো সেক্ষেত্রে আবার আমাদের হিউম্যান প্রেডিকশন বলছে লিডসের যেহেতু ডিফেন্স খারাপ, সো সেক্ষেত্রে আমরা বলছি যে 3-1। অ্যান্ড লাস্ট খেলার মধ্যে আলটিমেটলি লিভারপুলকে প্রেডিক্ট করা হচ্ছে 2টো গোল এবং ওয়েস্ট হ্যামের ক্ষেত্রে একটি গোল। So that's that. Yeah, so there are a lot of comments coming. Should we go and try to take some comments, or should we move to the what do you call it, keep and sell, and then go for the comments?
I think
What do
let's
you want
take
to
in
do,
some
guys?
comments. I think let's take in some comments and move on.
Okay, let's take in some comments then. So let's bring it first with Munim's comment. Munim, thank you so much for your comment, and of course একটা 5.1 এর ডিফেন্ডার সাজেস্ট করেন। সাইফ, over to you.
think 5.1 এ এখন নিতে গেলে রেগুয়েন ক্যান বি এ গুড অপশন, বাট আই থিঙ্ক কন্তে কি করে দেখা যাক, তারপরে নেওয়া উচিত। আর নাহলে চেলসি খেলার পরে বার্নলির পিকচার ভালো আছে, তো লোটন বা টেইলর যে কোনো একটা নেওয়া যায়, অথবা উলফসের পিকচার এখনো ভালো আছে। তো উলফসের আমার মনে হয় আইকনরি খুব ভালো খেলতেছে, মনে হচ্ছে না মার্কাল আসলেও বেঞ্চ হবে। তো হি হ্যাজ গুড অ্যাটাকিং পটেনশিয়াল, হি ক্যান বি এ ডিফারেন্সিয়াল।
Okay, and then there is another comment from Nuruzzaman Zaid Bhai. Nuruzzaman Zaid Bhai, thank you so much for your comment. আপনাকে আজকে আমরা পডে প্রথম দেখছি, অ্যাটলিস্ট আপনার কমেন্টকে আমরা প্রথম দেখছি। আমি জানি না আপনি আগেও আমাদের পড রেগুলারলি দেখেছেন কিনা, বাট থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ফর জয়নিং অ্যান্ড অফ কোর্স আস্কিং আ কোয়েশ্চেন। We are very happy to take your question. So Ashfaq, over to you with a question from Nuruzzaman Zaid Bhai. Wang or Jimenez?
Nurjaman Zarve, thank you for your question. Between Wang and Jimenez, personally, I like Jimenez better because I think his goal involvement rate is higher than Wang. Jimenez is still on penalties. He has a creative role in the team. He usually is amongst the assists. The negative thing about Jimenez could be that because of the international break coming up, and he will be away. Most likely, he will be away playing for Mexico. There is a chance that he might sit out the first game week after he comes back from the international game. We have seen it happen before, so that is something that can go against him. But between them, I like Jimenez better. If you have a good decent bench option, I would suggest go for Jimenez, or you can save some money and go for Wang, because up until game week 14 they still have very good fixtures. So either of them is a good thing, but if you can afford it, go for Jimenez.
Okay. Okay, next question comes from Farhan Afsar Khan. Welcome back, Bhaiya, and good to see you, Farhan bhai. অনেকদিন পরে মনে হয় দেখলাম, but yeah, good to see you. Thank you for the question, of course. Transfer Antonio with whom? Saif, over to you.
If you don't have Tony, he can be a very good option because he has Norwich and then some very good fixtures, and you can save some money too. So I would suggest Tony first, and then, as Ashfaq bhai mentioned, Jimenez can be a good option, but as the international break is coming up, wait for that, I would say.
টনি যে কবে পয়েন্ট দিবে আল্লাহ।
টনি ঝুলায় রাখছে সবাইকে। Anyway, so this will be the
Inshallah,
second last question. This will be the second last question, and then we move on to the next topic. After this, we're not taking any more questions কারণ আমাদের টপিক কভার করে আবার আমরা কোয়েশ্চেন পরে নিয়ে নেব না, ঠিক আছে? সো শফিকুল ইসলাম ইমন ভাই ইজ আস্কিং আস এ কোয়েশ্চেন। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ভাইয়া, আপনি আমাদের রেগুলার ভিউয়ার, সো আমি জানি। ইউসিএল এ এইচপি খেলাচ্ছে, গেমিক 11-এ বেঞ্চ হওয়ার পসিবিলিটি আছে নাকি সিবি হিসেবে নামার চান্স আছে? আশফাক, what do you say?
First of all, regarding Aspilicueta, I think Nadim Bhai would be better suited to answer this question because he is an Aspilicueta owner. Sorry, but if you want my verdict, I think without Rudiger, I don't think anyone is nailed on in the Chelsea defense. Chilwell, because he's playing so well, Chilwell is another option. I think he is pretty much nailed on because of his form. Rudiger is another one, but Echara, Thiago Silva, Chalova, Christiansen, Aspilicueta, Reche James. Even though Reche James scored 2 goals last game, I think he's still a big rotation risk. Aspilicueta, I think he will play most matches, but 1 or 2 games he might be benched. The good thing about Aspilicueta is that if he is benched, there is a very low chance that he will come off the bench like James does. So if you do have Aspilicueta, you should have a good bench because I still believe he will play most games. But then again, you never know because Chelsea has been known to rotate a lot. I still think he'll play most games. So if you have Aspilicueta, I suggest keep him, but have a good bench nevertheless.
Right. Okay. Over to you, Saif, for this question. Question from Dilwar Taha, of course. Dilwar, thank you so much, bhai, for your question. Will CS Dana বহু বছর? What do you think about that? Because you suggested about Wolves defense, so that's why.
Wolves says দিচ্ছে না, but they have been pretty good. They have pretty good defensive numbers. I think they are top 5 among the defensive metrics if we see after City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Brighton. They are the 5th best defense. So I think CS will come. And I suggested Ait Nori because he has some attacking potential. So he assisted this game week. So even if they don't keep a clean sheet, I think he can give some assists for the owners. And they have good fixtures. That's why I suggested that fixtures is still pretty good. So I think CS will come.
Okay. So let's go back to the content then. And there is just one comment that came in very relevant to the previous talk. Nazmul Hassan, Nazmul, our very dear old Nazmul says, Ashfaq Alam basically Tony point dibe. Just that you know Ashfaq, yeah. So if you sell Tony, then I think he will start to deliver.
So
please do sell him.
Just a shout out to Nazmul Haq Bhai Arki. I'm not selling Tony because I'm assuming you have Tony. So because you have Tony, I'm not selling Tony. I would obviously not want you to do well in my mini league. So Tony is there to stay in my team. যদি খারাপ পয়েন্টস দেয় দুজনেই খারাপ পয়েন্টস পাবো, এর কিছু করার নেই।
Right. Okay. So let's move to the next content, and that is keep and sell. So basically, Cancelo, Vardy, Tony, and Diaz. এদেরকে আমরা সবাই বলছি, তিনজনই বলছিল কিপ। সো এটা নিয়ে আসলে নতুন করে ডিসকাস করার কিছু নাই। এদের ফিক্সচার ভালো, এরা ফর্মে আছে এখনো। So there is nothing to talk about. But Mount থেকে আমাদের অপিনিয়নটা একটু স্লাইটলি ভ্যারি হচ্ছে, এবং সেখানে আমি দেখছি যে মাউন্টে আর সাইফ বলছে সেল, আমি আর আশফাক বলছি কিপ। সো সাইফ, হোয়াট ইজ দ্য রিজন বিহাইন্ড সেল বাই Mount?
Mount scored a hat trick, then disappeared, and he has never been an explosive option for me. And I think he will keep ticking around. But the main problem with Mount is, and the pre-Champions League press conference, Tuchel has said that he is not fit yet. Thing is, he is not injured, so he's ill or something. He has a flu, but Tuchel has said that he doesn't have COVID. But I think he won't be back in game week 11. Then when he will be back, we don't know. So I think you don't keep a 7.5 midfielder if he doesn't play. So there are lots of better options coming up in the 5.5 to 6 bracket. So I think the time to sell is now. And also Lukaku will be back, so I don't think Mount will score that much even if he's back. So he will be assisting and he will give. I think he will keep ticking along with 5 to 6 points. So I think you can sell him now and then get him back if he is fit.
Right. So is that a priority transfer? Should it be a priority transfer?
If you don't have any problem, or if you have a transfer to burn, I think you can sell him. And I think if anyone have a Mount in their team, I don't think their bench will be pretty strong. So it should be a priority transfer for them because he isn't cheap.
Right. রাইট। সো 10 জন দেখছে এখন এই মুহূর্তে পড, অ্যান্ড আমি দেখতেছি 8টা লাইক। সো 8টা লাইক যেহেতু আমি চিন্তা করছি আর কন্টেন্ট না বাড়াই আর কথাও না বলি, 10টা লাইক না হওয়া পর্যন্ত আমি আর কথা বলবো না। না আমি আর সরবো না ভাই। আই ওয়ান্ট লাইকস, মোর লাইকস, কাম অন। না না না, লাইকস না হলে কেমনে হবে ভাই? So you have to like the pod. Come on, guys. You are watching it. If you are talking rubbish, please tell us that you're talking rubbish. But if you're talking some good, there it is. See? Bolte na bolte, see? 10 people watching, now it's 11 likes. That's great. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Anyway, that was just a bit of fun. Anyway, let's go to the next player, which is Shaw. Ashfaq says keep. Saif and I say sell. So Ashfaq, what is your love with Shaw? কারণ আমি এখানে সবচেয়ে শোয়ের প্রতি ভালোবাসা দেখছিলাম সাইফের কাছ থেকে, বাট সাইফ সে সেল, সেক্ষেত্রে ইউএসএ কি?
আমার শয়ের রাখার রিজনিংটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে যে মানে ইউনাইটেড স্টিল হ্যাজ গ্রেট ফিকচার্স কামিং আপ ফ্রম game week 14 onwards. I think they have a tough fixture in game week 11. They have another tough fixture in game week 13. So game week 12 they play Watford. Game week 11 they play City. 13 they play Chelsea. So if Shaw could be rotated in game week 11 and 13, I think he's still a very good prospect, because game week 14 onwards till game week 30, I believe. Yeah, game week 27, in fact. Game week 27 porjonto, from 14 to 27, United still has excellent fixtures. So I think people would be interested in investing in Shaw at that point, after a certain point. So if he can be rotated for these 2 game weeks, I think Shaw is worth keeping.
Just like he has been so far in the season.
Have faith.
Yeah.
আপনি এক লিভারপুল খেলার পরে তো ফেথ হারায় ফেলছেন, যে ওলে আউট এটসেট্রা। তুমি বাউন্স ব্যাক,
ওলে ইন ফরএভার ম্যান।
ঠিক আছে আপনি তো বায়াস,
ওলে ফর দ্য উইন,
আপনি ওলে ইন তো বলবেনই বা সামথিং, বাট উই বাউন্স ব্যাক,
Okay, guys.
we had a good game against Spurs. So মানে
Ole always does this,
Okay.
man. Whenever
He's-
his backs on the wall, then he just brings up a great result and he keeps on going. We are Ole
I'm
in.
calling for a strategic timeout.
Ole in forever.
Timeout now. Ole in, Ole out, doesn't matter. Let's stick to the topic. Because otherwise, if we start Ole in, Ole out right now, I think we are not going to finish the pod. I swear. We are not going
Right.
to finish the pod.
Just
Anyway,
Ashraf bhai ki Ole in na Ole out? Ashraf bhai?
good question.
Ole in, Ole out. I'm neutral actually. In fact, with Ole, I'm neutral. Ole, I think, is doing a decent job, but there are better coaches out there. I'm neutral at this point.
Conte was
Well, if
out
you're
there.
asking my opinion, okay, if you're asking for my opinion, Saif, I will back any Tom, Dick, and Harry who's the Manchester United manager. And as long as he's the manager, my work is to support him. So my conclusion is always that doesn't matter how bad it is. We can complain about it, but it doesn't mean I am the one who takes the decision to say, like, send him out or kick him out. No, I'll stick to him. It is the board's decision. If the board thinks he's not worthy, change him. Yeah, new guy comes in. Dick comes in, and I will support Dick. And then Dick gets kicked out, then I will support Harry. No problem. But I will support. That's my work. As a fan, my work is to support. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So that's my opinion. Um, Coming to Ronaldo. Okay. Keep. But I say sell. Now, why do I say sell? So far, how many goals? To be honest, Chapter goal with 12.5. Honestly, Wang has scored 4 goals already in 5 matches, or 3 goals in five matches. Why not go for Wang? Why not go and invest this money in the defense? James has scored 3 goals already, and he's much cheaper. So invest that money somewhere else. Just because Ronaldo's fixtures are coming up, fixtures coming up, মানে এই না যে ভাই বেচে দিলে আর কোনোদিন নিতে পারবো না. There's no restriction like that. So I think just sell. হ্যাঁ, গত সপ্তাহে তারা যারা রাখছিল faith, good luck, but it will not happen every week. The problem is not Ronaldo. This is what I want to make it very clear. সবাই অথবা মনে করবে হ্যাঁ ভাই হলো লাইক রোনাল্ডোর গোট, দ্য গোট রে নিয়ে কোয়েশ্চেন করতেছে, ঠিক আছে? I'm not I'm not talking about the capacity of Ronaldo. What I'm trying to say is Manchester United কোন দিন ভালো খেলবে আর কোন দিন ভালো খেলবে না, we don't know. We are like a team, like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. এই বই যদি কেউ পড়ে থাকে, they will understand what I'm talking about. আজকে ভালো মানুষ তো কালকে খারাপ মানুষ, ঠিক আছে? And we don't know which Manchester United will come out. So why do I take the risk of Ronaldo and invest 12.5 million? যখন আমি জানি যে there are points everywhere else. So that's my reason to say sell. Okay. Antonio, we say, Ashfaq says keep. Both Saif and I say sell. Ashfaq, suggest your reason, please.
My reasoning is pretty simple. I'm a bit of an Antonio fan. I still believe that whenever he plays and if he's fit, he always posts phenomenal stats, whether he's unlucky to score or not. I think West Ham scoring 4 goals and him not being amongst the assists or goals, he has been a bit unlucky. I think he'll keep ticking on over the course of the season. I think he will stay in my team for the time being, playing because of that.
Okay. And then coming down to the last two players, Ben Rahama and Saint Maximin. আমরা তিনজনেই বলেছি সেল. ম্যাক্সিমিনকে এখানে অ্যাড করা হয়েছে কারণ ম্যাক্সিমিনের এখনো পার্সেন্টেজ অনেক হাই. সো যারা এখনো ম্যাক্সিমিনের মধ্যে আটকায় আছেন, ইটস টাইম টু অ্যাকচুয়ালি সেল, বিকজ নিউক্যাসেলের ম্যানেজার চেঞ্জ হয় নাই, টিম চেঞ্জ হয় নাই, জাস্ট ম্যানেজমেন্ট চেঞ্জ হয়েছে, মালিক চেঞ্জ হয়েছে. সো মালিক দিয়ে আসলে কিছু হবে না এখন. মালিকের ইম্প্যাক্টে ইমিডিয়েটলি টিমে পড়ে না, ম্যানেজারের ইম্প্যাক্টে ইমিডিয়েটলি টিমে পড়ে. সো দ্যাটস দ্য রিজন. Anyway, let's move to the next topic, which is our buy section and the attacking option. So over to you, Saif.
ESR has been a bit of revelation for the last 2 game weeks. Arsenal has been good, pretty attacking wise, pretty good. So ESR and Saka both have been pretty good. So he has expected goals of 1.22 and expected assists of 1.31. So that's more than 2.5 in 3 game weeks. So there is every chance that he will score or assist in any game week he plays. So and he has been playing pretty regularly. So if you don't have him, I think he can be a good option. And Rafinha has been a pretty hyped FPL option since last season for good reason. He is a joy to watch and he has the stats to back up. So he has been unfit, but he is back, and I think he is 100% fit now. He lasted the whole 90 minutes. He also has expected goals and assists of more than one in the last 3 game weeks he played, and Goal involvement rate is pretty high. Bamford is not playing, so whenever Leeds scores, Rafinha is most likely to be involved. That so Cornet, he has been the biggest revelation in the last 2 game weeks, 2 3 game weeks, I think. When Burnley brought him, I think everyone was surprised because he isn't a type. He isn't Burnley typical Burnley player. He is a pretty flair player. I think he would suit a team like Leeds pretty good. So I'd give it to Sean Dyche. He picked a position for Cornet in the team. He just plays off the shoulder of Wood, and that has been working pretty good for them. He goes on the run from deep in, and then takes on the knock-ons from Wood, and then he has been finishing pretty good. So he is in my plans. Burnley has good fixtures after Chelsea, so and he is only selected by less than 1%. So he can be a pretty good option. But thing is that he just came from French division, so I think he will take some time. So there can be there can be the odd benching. So be prepared for that if you take the plunge. And Gallagher, I had him in my third sub. He just destroyed City with a goal and assist. But we said in the previous pod that he has not been putting up numbers after his amazing start to the season because Miljovic has taken some of his set pieces. But in the last 2 3 game weeks, he has been playing in the hole behind Benteke and Edwards. So he's been pretty attacking despite losing his set pieces. So I think he will keep taking it on, and the fixtures are pretty good and goal involvement is also pretty high, and he loves to take a shot almost uh, every shot he takes in every 47 minutes he takes a shot at goal, and his shooting is pretty good actually, and he also creates a lot of chances. So I think all four of them can be a pretty good option. That's why I actually said before that Mount, you can sell Mount because there are some pretty good options in the price bracket below. So these are just four. There are also lots of good other options.
Right. Okay. So let's go to the buy option for defensive stats, defense option. So over to you, Ashfaq.
So regarding defensive stats, obviously the standout picks would be the Chelsea defenders right now. Reche James would be one of the first to come into everyone's mind because of his 2 goals last week. He also scored 2 goals in the second game week, we believe. Then he was suspended. Then probably he was injured for a while. That's why he missed some games. So the thing on Reche James is whenever he plays, he has a very high ceiling of points. He has a very high potential of points. আপনারা already দেখতেছেন যে he has already in the last 6 game weeks he already has 4 goals and 2 assists. That is for a defender. That is nothing short of outstanding. The negative thing of Reche James is that whenever he's benched, he tends to anyway sometimes tends to come off the bench to give you the odd 1 point and etc. That is a risk that comes with having a player of such high ceiling. So the thing with Reche James is if you take him in, there will always be the chances that he will be benched. You might get the 1 point or etc. from him because of his he comes off the bench once too often. But whenever he will score a goal or give you an assist, you will have a double-digit haul from him. So that's a high risk and high gain kind of situation with Reche James. Next on is Chilwell. Chilwell last 4 game week he has scored 3 goals. That is nothing short of phenomenal. Alonso যেহেতু প্রত্যেকটা ম্যাচে আপাতত বেঞ্চ হয়েছে since Chilwell has come in. I think Chilwell's place is pretty set on because he's in such a good form, and we know for a fact that Chilwell is a better defender for Alonso. আমি এই যে নিচে লিভারপুল ফ্যানটা অলরেডি চিলওয়েল নিয়ে বসে আছে, আপনারা দেখছেন তার টিম থেকে আর কি, বিকজ অফ দিস. সো Chilwell, I think you cannot really go wrong with Chilwell at the moment. Rudiger and Chilwell is one of the, I think, safe bets you can place regarding Chelsea defense, with Chilwell having the higher ceiling because of his, attacking potential, and he's also on corners as well. So that is something that is very attractive for someone of Chilwell's perspective. Finally, Livramento, Southampton. Last few game weeks has been ticking on slowly. Livramento, whenever Southampton is not keeping clean sheets, Livramento is scoring goals, giving assists. Whenever Southampton is keeping clean sheets, Livramento is giving you the extra 6 points. So Livramento আমরা দেখছি যে for his price point, it's 4.4 now. I think he is one of the best defenders you can get. For those who have invested early in Livramento, I think he's a season keeper because of his attacking potential. Southampton still has very good fixtures, at least for the next few game weeks. So, because of his budget and attacking potential at that price point, I don't think you can get a better defender. So, regarding investing in your fifth defender, Livramento should be a top priority. So, regarding the defenders, that's it from me.
Right. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to really talk about, and this is a small addition to what Ashfaq has already mentioned, লিভারমেন্টের ব্যাপারটা। আমরা কিন্তু এখনো লিভারমেন্টে 4.4 দেখে কিন্তু আমরা এখনো তাকে বেঞ্চে রাখি। কপাল ভালো যে বারবারে কোনো না কোনো দিক থেকে রোটেশন হওয়ার কারণে বা কোনো ইনজুরি হওয়ার কারণে কিন্তু বারবারে লিভারমেন্টো বেঞ্চ থেকে ঢুকতেছে। বাট ভেরি সুন উই আর গোইং টু রান আউট অফ দ্যাট লাক। সো সাজেস্ট play Livramento as long as the fixtures are good. Don't underestimate him because of his price point and because of the fixtures. So that's just something I wanted to say. Anyway, let's go to the next topic, which is our hot topic. এবং হট টপিকের পরে আমরা যেটা করবো যে আমাদের কিছু কোয়েশ্চেন আর কমেন্ট আসছে, আমরা সেগুলো শেয়ার করবো না। সো লেটস গো টু দ্য হট টপিক। হট টপিক আসলে বেসিক্যালি কিছুই না, ওয়ার আর দ্য পয়েন্টস কামিং ফ্রম। সো বিগত 4 গেম উইক থেকে আমরা যেটা দেখছিলাম যে 4 গেম উইক থেকেই মোটামুটি সবারই টিম একটু মানে ভালো স্ট্যাটসওয়ালা প্লেয়ার, ভালো ফর্মে থাকা প্লেয়ার, ভালো ফিক্সারে থাকা প্লেয়ার নেওয়ার পরেও আলটিমেটলি সবার টিম মোটামুটি এক হলেও সবার টিমের মধ্যে একটা হিউজ ডিফারেন্স আছে। যেমন আমি যদি আশফাকের টিম আর সাইফের টিমের সাথে কম্পেয়ার করি, আমার সাইফ আর আশফাকের টিমের সাথে বেশি ডিফারেন্স না, খুব বেশি 2 থেকে 3টা প্লেয়ার ডিফারেন্স আছে। বাট 2-3টা প্লেয়ার ডিফারেন্স হলেও একটা প্লেয়ারের কারণে কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি পয়েন্ট ডিফারেন্স 53 আর আমারটা হলো 38, and that one player is always making the difference. সো এই একটা প্লেয়ার আসলে যাদের টিমে থাকে প্রত্যেক গেমেকেই এরকম করে একটা করে প্লেয়ার বের হচ্ছে, সো এই একটা প্লেয়ারের জন্য। সো দ্যাট ইজ হোয়াট উই আর ট্রাইং টু সি যে আসলে আসলে তাহলে পয়েন্টটা আসছে কোথা থেকে। কারণ যদি একটা প্লেয়ারই দিয়ে যায় আর সালা বা মানে সালা পরে যদি আরেকটা প্লেয়ার যদি শুধু দিয়ে যায় তাহলে পয়েন্ট আসছে কোথা থেকে। আর সেটাই দেখার জন্য আমরা একটু স্লাইটলি একটা অ্যানালাইসিস করেছিলাম। সো সেই অ্যানালাইসিসটার জন্য আমি যেটা করব যে এখানে আমি আমরা আমরা এই চার্টটাতে পরে আসি, কারণ এই চার্টটা বেসিক্যালি দেখাচ্ছে হলো যে গেম উইক 7-এ যারা হাইয়েস্ট পয়েন্ট স্কোরার ছিল, ডিফেন্ডার, স্কোরার এবং ফরওয়ার্ড, এবং গেম উইক 8-এও যারা ছিল তাদের গোলকিপার সহ। এবং এখানে গেম উইক 9 এবং গেম উইক 10-এও আমরা সেম দেখছি যে ডিফেন্ডার, গোলকিপার, মিডফিল্ডার এবং ফরওয়ার্ডের মধ্যে থেকে কারা আসছে। বাট মেইন জিনিসটা হলো যেটা হলো যে সেখানে শুধু সালা ছিল একমাত্র কমন প্লেয়ার, বাট বাকি সালা ছাড়া আসলে আর কমন প্লেয়ার সেরকম ছিল না। So, Saif, if you can explain this, where the points are really coming from. Over to you, Saif.
This is actually taken from the dream team every week, so we can see which portion. For the dream team, they always pick one goalkeeper, so goalkeepers will be always be constant. So 7% is constant there, but if we can see from which from defense or midfield or forward, which players are giving higher returns or bigger returns, I would say. So if you see that forwards have been pretty disappointing. So this has been the case for the last few game weeks. I think for just one game week, Lukaku and Ronaldo both returned 12 to 13 points. But then from then onwards, I don't think forwards have been pretty good. One or two forwards are returning, and that too at random. So we cannot just say which forwards to pick. Only 17% of the total points have come from the forwards. So despite Ronaldo returning big again, Antonio, Tony, Vardy, Kane all blanked. So forwards have been pretty disappointing so far. So let's see if they can pick up. But midfielders and defenders is midfield and defense is where from where the points are coming from. Defense, I think, have been riding on the Chelsea defense, the Chelsea wing backs. They have been scoring goals at a pretty regular rate, and which I wanted to add previously is not an anomaly because I think Chilwell is the one who have mentioned this just this game week after this game week that Tuchel has been instructing his wingbacks to go and get into the box and score goals. He wants them to score goals. He wants goals from them. So I think whoever plays at the wingback, be it Chilwell, James, or Alonso and Westpilicueta, they will be in the score sheet. They will be assisting or they will be in the score sheet because that's how Tuchel is playing his game at the moment. So I don't think if I don't know if it is only for the time being when Lukaku is not there. But I think even if Lukaku is there, the Chelsea defense is a must, especially one of the wing backs, and or if you can afford both, I would say pick Chilwell and James both. And midfielder, we have mentioned previously, the budget midfielders have been doing pretty well, and also Salah is a midfielder, so he has always been near the dream team for the last few games. He has been phenomenal this season, so he contributed a lot. But the budget midfielders are there. We have mentioned a few. There are lots of others. So I think defense and midfield is where you should concentrate more. And forwards, I don't think anyone has been emerging as a must buy. Conte is there, so we can monitor Son and Kane and how he sets up Spurs, and then we can jump on them.
Okay, so I just wanted to do one thing. I just wanted to touch upon that point, Saif, and I just bringing up this slide here. এবং এই স্লাইডগুলোতে আমরা যদি মিডফিল্ড এবং ডিফেন্সের দিকে দেখি, ইউ সি জেমস গেমিক 10-এ, আবার জেমস ইন গেমিক 9, but you see Cresswell here and Chilwell here, but you don't see Gabriel, Lawton and Omo Damirbele. That's the problem. Now if you look at the midfield again, এখানে সালাকে আমরা গেমিক 10-এ দেখতে পাচ্ছি না, but Salah has been consistent from 9, 7 and 8. But এখানে দেখেন রাইস টুডে, বোয়েন, হেন্ডারসন, জর্জিনো, যারা কখনোই FPL অপশন হিসেবে কনসিডার হয় না যদিও, বাট আবার নিচের গেমিকে এক্স্যাক্টলি, আবার নিচের দিকে যদি আমরা দেখি যে মাউন্ট, তাহলে মাউন্টের দিকে মানুষ গেছে, কিন্তু মাউন্ট আলটিমেটলি নেক্সট গেমিকে বেঞ্চড। কর্নেট হ্যাজ বিন অ্যানাদার কনসিস্টেন্ট। আর মজার ঘটনা হলো লিভারপুল মিডফিল্ড যদি আমরা নেই, then it goes with Keita and Henderson. So আজকে Keita হলো, কালকে Henderson. Now if you go to the another one, the gimmick 7 and 8, same problem. এখানেও আমরা দেখছি আজকে চিলওয়েল, পরের দিন দেখছি আমরা হলো অ্যাসপিলিকুয়েটা, and then there is no similarities, absolutely no similarities. এখানে আমরা একটাই similarities, সেটা হলো সালা, বাকি হলো এখানে কেডিবি আছে, but then it's Højbjerg and Townsend and Son, আবার এখানে কেডিবি. So where do you jump? You don't jump actually. আর একটা কমন জিনিস যেটা পেয়েছি আর কি আমরা, সেটা হলো যে আলটিমেটলি যে কর্নেট, আই মিন সালা, কর্নেট, স্মিথরো, আর হলো আর একজন আছে, সরি, there is another midfielder I can't remember. এই তিনজন ছাড়া দুইটা গেমিকের বেশি কেউ পয়েন্ট দেয়নি। আর ডিফেন্সের থেকে চিলওয়েল অ্যান্ড রিস জেমস ছাড়া কন্টিনিউয়াসলি দুই গেমিকে কেউ পয়েন্ট দেয়নি। সো দ্য পয়েন্টস আর অ্যাকচুয়ালি স্ক্যাটার্ড অ্যারাউন্ড, এবং যেসব আনলাইকলি সোর্স থেকে পয়েন্ট আসছে, এবং এই একটা করে, যেটা আমি প্রথমে বলছিলাম যে একটা প্লেয়ারের ডিফারেন্সের কারণেই কিন্তু এখন ডিভিয়েশনটা হচ্ছে বা ভেরিয়েন্সটা হচ্ছে আর কি। সে একটা প্লেয়ার, সেটা হতে পারে কেউ হয়তো বা জেমসে গেছে, কেউ হয়তো বা চিলওয়েলে গেছে। That is the only difference. Nothing else is making the difference really. So that's just something I wanted to highlight. Ashfaq, you want to say something about it?
Just to add to your sci-fi's comments, Turkey. Basically, till when we are playing till game week 10. By game week 10, we usually look for players who are, who are season keepers, who are on form, or someone who can rely on for the rest of the season, or probably we will not look to transfer out in the short term at least. So I think this season has been a bit different in that prospect, of course, in the exception of Salah, of course, but in the other players, I think we have really struggled for getting players who would be season keepers. I don't think we have a favorite striker anymore. I don't think we have a favorite goalkeeper. I don't think we have found a favorite midfielder except for Salah. So that is something I think most managers have struggled to keep consistency on. That is good in a way, that which means that there are so many options that most teams would be, to some extent, would be different. So the unpredictability is there. Just one more thing to highlight from this slide is that you can see that the most of the points are coming from the midfield, and the next best points are coming from the defense. So one of the most popular formation in FPL is obviously the 3-4-3. Historically, you have most of the popular managers have played the 3-3-4-3 formation because that has the highest probability of getting points. But because this season has been an exception, we have not found our favorite strikers or season keeper strikers. The points from the striker has come a bit lesser than other seasons. So as a result, I think the statistics goes to show that what kind of formation we should be targeting. Uh, I think we should be more focused on a 4-4-2 formation because many of the points are actually coming from defenders, or having a one premium striker and going for a 4-5-1 formation too. So that is something that can be explored as well. So that is something I think most managers should look into and explore.
Right, and game week 6 আমি এই কথাটা বলছিলাম যে 4-4-2 is going to be obviously a big formation, and you laughed at me, Ashfaq. You laughed at me quite loud, and now you're advocating for 4-4-2.
I laugh at
Okay.
a lot of things. I don't remember if I laughed at this specific thing. I laugh at a lot of things.
Okay, thanks. Now that's good. Let's do one thing. Let's now take the comments and the questions, কারণ অনেক question পাঠাইছে. So let's start with বকুল রেজা ভাই. বকুল রেজা ভাই, সরি আপনার কোয়েশ্চেনটা আমরা অনেক পরে নিলাম, এই কারণে যে আমরা আসলে আপনার কমেন্ট আসার আগে আমরা বলে দিয়েছিলাম যে আমরা এই কমেন্ট পর্যন্তই কমেন্ট নিব, এরপরে আমরা কন্টেন্টে ফেরত যাব। সো সরি ফর দ্যাট, আপনাকে একটু ওয়েট করতে হলো। সন প্লাস রেগুলেনকে টিমে ইন করার সময় কি এখন এসে গেছে নাকি? সাইফ, you've been talking about Conte, so what do you think?
I think FPL wise it's pretty exciting time because Conte is here, and he is known to change the fortune of a team pretty quickly. So I would suggest wait until the international break. There's enough time, one game week, and then we have a break, and then reconsider.
Yeah, good point.
Let's see what
Good
he does
point.
first. Then
হ্যাঁ, কারণ 12 গেম উইক থেকে আলটিমেটলি স্পার্সের ফিক্সচার ভালো হচ্ছে, and 12 গেম উইক will be after the international break. So বকুল রেজা ভাই, you can wait, and also এর মধ্যে আপনি কন্টের ফরমেশন, প্লেয়ারের ইনথুজিয়াজম, টিমের মধ্যে একটা স্পিরিট, সবকিছু আপনি নোটিস করতে পারবেন। সো দেন ইউ ক্যান মেক দ্যাট মুভ, অ্যান্ড অফকোর্স ততদিনে আমরা নিশ্চয়ই সন অ্যান্ড রেগুলিয়ানকে নিয়ে ডিসকাস করবো। সো ডোন্ট ওয়ারি অ্যাবাউট ইট। এখন যায় না আর কি, এটাই হলো মেন জিনিস, একটু ধৈর্য ধরেন। হ্যাঁ, ওকে। কোয়েশ্চেন ফ্রম শফিকুল ইসলাম ইমন, আমাদের খুবই রেগুলার একজন ভিউয়ার এবং আমাদের টপ ফ্যানের মধ্যে একজন পেজে। So Ashfaq, over to you. Livramento versus Aston Villa or Sarn versus Arsenal, better option for game week 11?
Shofigo Simon Bhai, thank you for your question. I would definitely go with Livramento because Livramento, I think attackingly has been shown great promise. Our last quite a consistent performance, game weeks আপনি performance analyst করলে সেটা বুঝবেন। Regarding Sar, I think since Ranieri came into the Watford team, I think Sar's attacking potential has lessened a bit. And Sar's immediate fixtures are tough too. So between them, I would say go for Livramento. Start Livramento.
Right, I agree. এবং আমরা এটা নিয়ে একটু আগে কথা বললাম। So here is a comment from Nazmul Bhai, and of course I have Mount and had 21 points sitting on the bench. যখন আমরা মাউন্টকে নিয়ে কথা বলছিলাম, that is when the comment came in, and it just goes to show how bad it can be and how unpredictable গত 4 গেম উইক হইছে আর কি। যে মাউন্টকে আমরা নিচে ঠিকই,
These are the specific moments that inspires you to play FPL when you have bad game weeks.
Right, এটা তোমার ক্ষেত্রে প্রযোজ্য, আশফাক, and I can tell you that when I look at your team and your decisions, particularly from Saka to what do you call it, Smith Rowe,
Saka, ESR, Foden, Mahrez.
Yeah, Foden, Mahrez, and then Armstrong and
Wang and Armstrong.
So এগুলা আমার জন্য একটা ইন্সপিরেশন যে না, আশফাক is taking wrong decisions, so good, I can continue playing FPL,
Right, but I have not lost.
আমরা কিন্তু একে অপরকে খুবই ইন্সপায়ার করি, so you have to understand that. Saif is not caught into this because Saif is still getting used to our mini league, but Saif will soon get caught into this as well. ঠিক আছে, Saif's moments are coming. কারণ সাইফের রং কল কিন্তু আমরা এখন নোটিস করছি, so the moment it happens wrong, Saif will be pointed out, don't worry. So have a good laugh, Saif, now when Ashfaq and myself we are having a talk. But later on we can have a good laugh about it, right? Okay, then I don't know whom Nazmul was referring to, but not selling him
Mount.
This is
what I
this is
Mount.
now. This is now.
Okay,
Mount.
this is Mount. Okay. And then Nazmul again comes up with a comment. He says, Skip Shaw. Great Man United fixtures coming up. 3 at the
Excuse
back.
me for a
He
moment.
will play up front. Yeah. So I think Ashfaq or I think what do you call it? Ashfaq or Saif. One of you said keep Mount. Who said keep Mount? I think I know. Sorry. Who said? Ashfaq, you said keep Shaw, right? You said keep Shaw.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
suggested
supporting him.
that he be rotated. If you have Shaw, look to rotate him for the City and the Chelsea game.
Right. So here is another comment, which is another interesting one, and it comes from your very good friend Ashfaq Tasnim, who's watching from Denmark, by the way. So Denmark থেকে বসে আমাদেরকে দেখতেছে আর দেখার পরে এই কমেন্টটা
He
করছে।
might be in Spain. I don't know if he's in Denmark anymore.
Oh, he's on vacation then. Aha. Tasnim,
Might
having
be.
a good time. Hola Tasnim. Anyway, not taking Shaw, he's a dead fish. So that goes with my sentiment, by the way, Tasnim. I'm a Manchester United fan.
This is
as
coming
you
from
know,
a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, but I'm not taking him. No way. Okay, Abu Aisha Humaira, who's our regular viewer from Malaysia, by ভালো আছেন আশা করি, and he says Mope's attacking return chance কেমন next Newcastle home. Saif, over to you with this question.
মোপের অ্যাটাকিং রিটার্নের আগে আসলে আমাদের ভাবতে হবে মোপের স্টার্ট করার চান্স কেমন, কারণ মোপে didn't start against Liverpool and Trossard played as a false nine. He played brilliantly, so I think Potter can keep that formation, I think, because that formation worked. They scored 2 goals against Liverpool, so there is every chance that Trossard again started as a false nine. So if you have Mope, I think I would suggest you start him, but if you don't have him, don't buy him now.
Right. মজার ঘটনা হলো যে Mope has actually lost his place because of the form that Mwepu is showing, if I pronounced it right. Mwepu, যে নতুন যে সাউথ আফ্রিকান যে স্ট্রাইকার গত বছর আছে, সে আসছিল. He's really showing some good form. Winger, right?
Winger. Striker now, midfielder, right?
Okay. Yeah, but he plays on the wing and he's kind of cutting in like Salah যেটা করে আর কি. So that is why Mope has
one other thing is that although the Newcastle fixture is juicy for any team particularly, but it's a personal opinion. My personal opinion is that Brighton does not have a high goal scoring ceiling. I don't see them scoring 3 or 4 goals against any opponent at any given time.
Right.
So even though Brighton wins against Newcastle, my guess is they won't probably score more than 1 or 2 goals. So
2 goals is what I will give them, but I don't expect Newcastle to score against Brighton, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. Question from Sadman Fayaz. Thank you so much, Bhai, for your question, and welcome back again. And good to see you watching our pod regularly. Should I keep Trent Alexander-Arnold? And what is your thought about Calum Wilson and Vardy? Ashfaq, over to you.
Sadman Fayaz, thank you for your question. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I believe, is a season keeper. Liverpool is the form of their life right now. Their assets should be one of the main teams you should target to. Trent Alexander-Arnold points per match is still almost in the double digits. I think it's almost. Regarding Calum Wilson, Calum Wilson always has good point potential, but the thing with Calum Wilson, what you've seen historically, is that he has a what Newcastle fans call a cheese string hamstring. So because of a cheese string hamstring, chances are he will get injured after playing 1 or 2 game weeks, etc. I had Calum Wilson initially because of his good fixtures.
Yes.
I had some good returns.
This is what inspires me to play FPL, by the way.
Right. I had some good returns initially the first few game weeks. Then Wilson got injured, a long-term injury. Then he came again. He scored some goals, and historically speaking, judging by statistics, he will get injured again. He will probably miss 7 or 8 game weeks. Then he will come back, score again, and miss some game weeks. So, Calum Wilson, I don't think you can really rely on him. Vardy, on the other hand, if he can be fit, I think Vardy is another who can be considered a season keeper.
Okay. Thanks, Ashfaq, for that comment. And there are two comments from Amit Ahmed. So I will bring the first comment up. Amit Ahmed, thank you so much for your comment and welcome. Good to see you again on the pod. Wilson could be a good shout or not in place of Antonio. I have Wong and Vardy. You?
I think he is asking whether he would be a good shout for replacement of Antonio. See, he
Yeah,
already has Wong and Vardy.
yeah, that's what it is.
So
Saif, can you hear us?
Yeah, you can. You want me to answer that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sorry. I didn't get it. Amit bhai, sorry. Thank you for the question. Uh, as Ashfaq bhai mentioned, just that Wilson returns whenever he plays. But the thing is, we don't know when he will be able to play because now he is fit, now he is not. Uh, Antonio and Wilson have been pretty similar previously because they are both amazing strikers. They always are in the goals whenever they are fit, but they haven't been able to be fit previously. But Antonio has mentioned that he changed his diet, and so far this season he has kept away from injuries. Wilson haven't been able to do so. So I would suggest don't go for Wilson just now. He has only been back for 2 game weeks. See if he can be fit for a longer period of time, then go for him. And I would say with Huang and Birdie, Tony can be a pretty good option if you really want to get rid of Antonio. He has he has been playing good, but he hasn't been getting FPL returns. But the fixtures are good, and I think the returns will come.
Okay. Okay. So next question, and আমি কোয়েশ্চেনটা আনার আগেই I will tell কবি এখানে নীরব. So I will pass it on to Ashfaq. Question comes from Amit Ahmed and Kobi এখানে নীরব. Ashfaq, over to you for the answer.
Amit Ahmed bhai, my personal opinion is Rudiger has the highest chance of playing every game. Um, he will probably start at least 90 to 95% most matches. So my suggestion would be to keep Rudiger and get Chilwell in as well if you can afford him. Like I said a bit before on our defender analysis, that regarding James, it's a high risk, high gain move because whenever James will not start, James tends to come off the bench and give the extra 1 point, etc. So when James starts, chances are he will give you an assist or he might even score goals. So you might have good returns from James, but whenever he does not start, he tends to come off the bench and give you the 1 point, etc. So James is a bit of a high risk, high gain move. If you can afford that, consider James. But otherwise, Chilwell I think is a sure starter too at this moment. If you can afford Chilwell, get Chilwell in as well as keeping Rudiger. That is
Okay.
my suggestion here.
So simple answer is keep Rudiger and try and see if you can get Chilwell as well.
Right, right.
That's the simple answer. Okay. Okay, and here is the comment from Tasneem again. Back to Denmark from Spain. Ola Nadim. Thanks. And enjoying the show. Some very good analysis. Thanks,
You
Tasneem.
went to
Really
you went to
appreciate it.
Barcelona.
Okay. Yeah. Probably to meet Messi, only he was a year late, right? Or a couple
Yeah,
of months late.
or because he's secretly a Barcelona fan. He just says
Yeah,
he's a
could
Chelsea
be.
fan. Could be.
Yeah. That's because he just wants to be part of the Premier League. That's it. Yeah. Nothing else.
Right.
Anyway, stop watchifying Tasmim anyway. So the next question comes from Abu Hanif, who is another top fan of ours in our page. So Abu Hanif bhai, thank you so much for your question. Would to Wong Tony regarding having Mbumo আছে তার Mbumo আছে, but would to Wong or Tony? Over to you, Saif. And then we go to the captaincy section.
I think both Huang and Tony are good options. Huang have been scoring goals, Tony haven't been. But as I have been advocating for Tony, I think the Tony Mbeumo develop can be good in the coming fixtures because they have great fixtures, starting with Norwich. And Tony and Mbeumo can be a pretty good differential. I think they will explode soon. So I would suggest
Okay.
Tony over Huang.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So then let's go to the last section, which is our captaincy section, and then we finish it off because there's no more comments and questions. So let's go to the last section, which is captaincy, of course. Obviously, that man with the tongue out, he will be our constant feature. But there is another South Korean guy, and there is an English guy, and we are going to look into the details about how they stand out in terms of the captaincy option. সো আমরা যেটা আগে করব যে সেটা হলো যে তারা যে টিমের বিপক্ষে খেলছে সেই টিমের ডিফেন্সিভ কি অবস্থা সেটা দেখব সো ফর দ্যাট আশফাক ওভার টু ইউ
Right. So obviously the favorite captaincy option will again be Salah. মানে গেম উইক 9-এ যারা বেলতলায় গেছে তারা হয়তো আরেকবার বেলতলায় যাবে না, তো ফেভারিট captaincy option for most managers will still be Salah. I think West Ham against West Ham is still an attractive feature for him to captain against. But if people are looking for a bit of a differential option, then Vardy and Son could be good options as well. So regarding defensive stats, যদি আপনারা চিন্তা করেন, for the last 6 game week stats, Everton has scored has conceded 2 goals per match on average. Clean sheets, nobody. I think West Ham was the worst amount of clean sheets. So on shots target is again West Ham has around average 5 shots on target each game. So goes to show that regarding defensive stats, West Ham is not the strongest, and Salah is still your best bet. So if you want to look at the differentials regarding between Vardy and Son, between Leeds and Everton, I believe that Everton has the worst stats because um, minutes per on targets conceded, expected goals conceded, shots conceded is all up in the top regarding the on the top regarding the statistics. So Son, I think with Conte coming in, could be a great differential shout, but like Saib Bhai said a bit earlier, be wary of the formation or the strategy which Conte places against. So if you can consider that, be wary of that a bit. But Son could be a good differential. Vardy against Leeds, আমরা ফুটালোচনা পরে আমরা বারবার বলে আসতেছি যে Leeds has not been the team they were last season, at least not yet. Till game week 10, we have not seen glimpses of the Leeds we have seen last season. But defensively, they have not been very good as well. Vardy has been scoring freely. I think the Arsenal game was a bit of an anomaly. I think he was a bit unlucky not to get on the score sheet, and I particularly think Arsenal played good. But Leeds defensively, আপনারা দেখবেন যে minutes on targets conceded is on par with Everton. Vardy being on penalties and being on that kind of form is another very good captaincy shout. But again, the favorite should be Salah. If you were looking for a differential between Vardy and Son, Vardy should be a bit safer pick because Son has a new manager coming in. So, in my opinion, it should be between Salah and Vardy.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair conclusion, Ashfaq. So let's go and see how their stats are for the last 6 game weeks. So over to you, Saif.
Let's see the individual stats of the 3 players we have mentioned as captain options in this game week. Salah has just become the first player in FPL history to break the 70% ownership barrier. So if you bet against Salah, be prepared. I think almost 50% from that 70% will captain him. So his effective ownership will be around 190%. I think more than 190%. At least in the top 10k or top 100k. So Salah has been scoring goals for the last 3 or 4 seasons, or from the moment he rejoined Premier League as a Liverpool player. What he added this season is his creativity. Just look at the assist column. He has 5 assists. He had 5 assists over the last full season, I think. So he already has 5 assists in this season. So he has been adding creativity in his locker, so I think he poses a dual threat now. He doesn't take corners anymore. He used to take corners, but he has been creating a lot from the open play. He has been uh, creating chances for Mane and Firmino, and
He
just
used to take corners. I always thought the
yep,
wing backs used to take corners.
he used to take corners.
No, he used to. He used to.
The season
He used to.
before, the first Liverpool goal against Norwich was a Van Dijk header from a Salah corner. He used to take corners. So,
So true.
and
Yeah.
he's pretty good at corners. He's better than Robertson. I don't think why Robertson keeps taking corners. He just cannot beat the first man even. Let's get back to Salah. He has been pretty good creative voice from the open play, and as Mane and Firmino has come just started finishing those chances, he has so started to get those assists. So expected goals is higher than both Vardy and Son, almost double them. Expected assists is comfortably double both Vardy and Son. Shots on targets is almost again more than double of both Vardy and Son. He takes a lot of shots, and then again he creates a lot of chances. Son has created more chances, but just see the big chances column. He has created 5 big chances. He's got 5 assists, whereas Vardy and Son has created none. So we can see that Salah is the obvious choice here. But if you want to go with differential, Vardy and Son can be very good options because they haven't. They always their stats are always beat Meme, you can say, but they have been the biggest stats busters. So they always outperform their XG or XA. So don't look at the stats and don't be disappointed at that because even if they get a chance to Hardy or Son, they get a chance from which the expected goals is I think zero point 0.05 to 0.1. There is every chance that they will score. So don't look at the expected goals and assist column for Vardy and Son. I'd suggest. So to wrap up, Salah is the best choice. He has the stats to back up. He has the form to back up. His opponent is not difficult. His opponent was difficult last season because Brighton is a very good defensive team. They are a very good team overall. They are top 6 this season, I think, on form. But West Ham are not. They have been leaking goals. So Salah, then I think either Vardy or Son if you want to go differential.
Right. I think that's a very, very good assessment. And there are some key points. I just want to highlight those key points যেগুলো দুজনে কভার করছে আর কি. One is the effective ownership and the ownership percentage, 70% of Salah. So এই এত বড় একটা রিস্ক নেওয়াটা আসলে is a huge problem. That's one. এমনিতেই টিম খারাপ করতেছে, প্লেয়ার পয়েন্ট দিচ্ছে না, তার মধ্যে যদি সালাও মারে, you're in serious trouble, really. That's one. Form and fixtures again. And the second thing যেটা Saif and Ashfaq both said, যদি আপনার differential খেলতে চান, why they are saying যদি is because this is really not the time to play the differential game. This is really not the time. We are just in game week 11. So differential time আসলে এখনো আসে না, and there will be so many fixtures যখন আমরা এরকম differential captain নিতে পারবো. Sooner or later we might see Salah's form dipping. So তখন we can always go for the differential. So there will be options.
Or
এখনো অনেক গেম
when he
বাকি
goes for
আছে.
the AFCON.
Yeah.
When
Yeah, or
Salah
when
and
he
Mane
goes for
both
the AFCON.
trip
Yeah.
for AFCON.
Yeah.
AFCON is
AFCON.
happening, right? It's shifted to
Uh,
another
Not
country.
yet sure.
Not yet
Oh, really?
finalized, I think.
Not yet sure. আমি যতটুকু জানি যে
I-
ক্যামেরুন ইনফ্রাস্ট্রাকচার এখনো রেডি না. So that's why
Cameroon
they
is
might
out
be
of the
postponing
question.
it.
Cameroon is out of the question. South Africa could be an alternate venue, but I don't think it's confirmed yet.
Okay. Yeah, but there's a lot of doubts and still ambiguity about it. So let's not dwell into that. But yeah, জানা হলে আমরা অবশ্যই জানাবো. Any other last points before we wrap it up? Any final key points?
I think most managers or most top managers have had a disappointing week, but it's important to remember that this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. I particularly have had 2 red arrows consecutively for the last 2 game weeks, but because I have 28 game weeks to cover that, I'm still hopeful. My experience tells me that it's still a long way to go. There are double game weeks, there are differential options, so you should not lose heart for a few game weeks and focus on the future.
Saif,
I have
anything
two
to
red
add?
arrows. I haven't seen a green arrow since game week 4. I have had 6 consecutive red arrows. But the thing is, I'm
Right.
pretty content with my team. finally I have come to a team which I am pretty satisfied with. So I think the arrows will be green sooner rather than red. And
This is
I think
interesting.
yeah, if
This is
anyone of you,
interesting.
yeah, like
No, no, go on, go on, go on. I said this is just interesting. I'm just adding
okay,
to
okay,
your
sorry.
thing.
Uh, I'm pretty certain there are people who haven't seen green arrows since the beginning. So I don't think there is any reason to lose hope because more than two-thirds of the season is still there. We have seen that no particular players have been doing pretty well except for Salah. So there is every chance to gain grounds by picking or jumping on an early differential. Conte is here. There is another game changer. So lots of things are happening. So just keep on playing the game, and I think the arrows will be green.
Rumor also is that Emery is taking over Newcastle. There is a rumor.
Yeah, there is that rumor too, but I don't think he can be he can do anything without the transfer window because their squad is not that good.
No, the
Yeah.
But
squad is not up to the mark. I don't think
yeah,
so.
Okay.
especially the
So
defenders.
those losing heart, I have a story to tell, and it's a very short story. Last season, আমাদের পারভেজকে অনেকেই চেনে. So last season, game week 6-এ পারভেজ was 62 million, 62 lakh. 65 লাখে পড়েছিল পারভেজ. And by game week 10, he just came to 55 lakh. Game week 10-এ. And by the time season ended, he was 1 lakh. So just to tell you, it's not over yet. Yeah, it's not over yet. Anyway, there's a comment, and it's an interesting one, and I want you to address. So first, I will ask Saif, and then I will ask you, Ashfaq, for your opinion also. Abu Hanif Bhai is asking differential Kane captaincy.
Uh, it's a pretty interesting choice. I also have Kane in my team, but I won't be captaining him just for the record. But Everton has been pretty bad defensively, as we have mentioned just in the Swan fixtures when discussing the Swans opponents. Everton have conceded on average 2 goals over the last 6 games, so they have been pretty bad defensively for a long period of time. But the problem is with Kane is he just seems uninterested. So let's see if Conte can light up a fire inside him. At least Conte can say that I will sell you in January if you can show that you are worth it. So something like that. I think Conte will try something with him, but I don't think it will work so soon. So I think Conte will try something, but let's see, and at least let's see some interest or desire from him. He just
So
doesn't
basically, you're
seem
saying don't.
interested. So don't.
So basically, you're saying don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Don't.
Ashfaq.
Abu Hanif Bhai, I don't think up until game week 10, Kane has not shown the consistency to warrant, depending on him for a captaincy option. He had one good game week against Newcastle. I think it was because of a weaker opponent. Historically, Kane has been a slow starter, that's true, but usually by September or October or November, he usually goes on to a scoring run. But that has not been the case this season. So up until now, Kane has not shown enough promise to warrant him being a captaincy option. Like Sidebay already said, Conte coming in can change that. Kane was interested to move out of Spurs because of Spurs' lack of ambition. They were not getting good signings. They had an excellent manager in Pochettino, which they sacked. Um, so I don't think one of the reasons why Kane was interested to move or interested in leaving Spurs was because Spurs' lack of ambition and they did not have a good manager or players to contend for the title, etc. But with Conte coming in, Conte has won titles wherever he has gone. So we wish that this would be a game changer for Kane and he would find some inspiration because of the new manager. He's a winner, no matter what. Conte is a proven winner. So if he finds some kind of inspiration and goes on to a scoring run, then you should consider him. But right now, at this moment, Kane is a no-go. He has not shown that kind of promise to warrant a captaincy option. Wait
I
a
would like
few,
to add here.
wait a
I would like
few,
to
wait a
add
few
that
weeks.
Having Kane in your team is differential enough. I think. Don't no, there is no need to risk captaincy. Just having him in your team is differential enough because he is owned by only 6%, I think. So if he scores, you will
Right.
get some good returns. So I don't think captaincy risk should be taken here.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Okay, there's another comment, and the comment comes from Amit Ahmed. Kelechi Iheanacho will be a good choice instead of Antonio alongside Hwang Aubameyang. Saif,
I don't
Ashfaq,
think he will
both
be
of
good
you, please
choice
give a short answer.
because
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think he will be good choice because Rogers haven't shown enough faith in him. They were behind and then he took him off against Arsenal. He kept Vardy. He didn't even bring Daka at that point, but he took him off. So I don't think, despite his good form and despite his good returns, Rogers haven't shown him enough faith for us
Okay.
to put enough
Ashfaq,
faith in him.
right. Okay.
I agree with Saib Bhai, but my reasoning is that Leicester currently has a lot of options up front who can play in that position. They have Perez, they have Albrighton, they have Daka, they have Iheanacho, they have Barnes. So I think at some point in the near future or soon, although he is showing some kind of form, Iheanacho will have his minutes managed, or who will be benched or substituted early, etc., etc. So I think Daka is knocking on the door in that position because of his excellent performances in Europe. So in the long run, I don't think he would be able to keep his place. Vardy, on the other hand, if you're looking for an Leicester option, Vardy could be a good option. And if you're targeting the fixtures only, Tony could be a good option in that price point.
ওকে, আই জাস্ট রিয়ালাইজ ওয়ান থিং ইন্টারেস্টিং ব্যাপার, সেটা হলো যে আমরা যখন ওই যে কি পয়েন্ট নিয়ে কথা বলছিলাম, সেটা হলো যে সাইফ সেড 6 গেম উইক ধরে সে রেড অ্যারো দেখছে, আশফাক সেড 2 গেম উইক ধরে সে রেড অ্যারো দেখছে, আমি কিন্তু 4 গেম উইক থেকে রেড অ্যারো দেখছি। সো 2 4 6, ইটস আ গুড ওয়ান, it's a very good one. And on that interesting note, I'd like to wrap it up today. Thank you so much. এখনো 8 জন ভিউয়ার আছে, so thank you so much for sticking with us. 1.5 ঘন্টা শো হয়ে যাচ্ছে, বাট আপনারা এখনো আছেন। দিস ইজ গ্রেট সাপোর্ট। এই জন্যই আমরা আসলে প্রতিবারই আসি, রেগুলারলি আসি, মিস করার চেষ্টা করি না, এবং কন্টেন্ট নতুন করে বানানোর চেষ্টা করি যাতে আপনারা দেখেন। অ্যান্ড থ্যাংক ইউ ফর দিস সাপোর্ট, রিয়েলি অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট দিস। আমরা 3জনই এখানে আছি, এবং আমাদের আরও যারা টিম মেম্বার আছেন, প্রণয় এবং পারভেজ, তারা সবাই এই জিনিসটাকে আমরা খুবই অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করি। সো থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ গাইজ। 10 নাও, সি নাম্বার কিপস অন ইনক্রিজিং, it just doesn't go up, and it's 12:30, nearly 12 o'clock. I mean, it's already 12 o'clock at night. So great,
What
thank you so much, guys. And then there is affection from Amit Ahmed, ভালোবাসি আপনাদের, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ভাই। অ্যান্ড দিস ইজ হোয়াট কিপস আস গোয়িং। কোনো ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল ম্যাটার নাই এখানে, আমাদের কোনো স্বার্থ নেই। উই আর জাস্ট হিয়ার
আমরাও
টু টক
আমরাও
অ্যাবাউট
আমরাও
FPL.
ভালোবাসি ভাই।
Yeah, we all love you, we all love you. Thank you so much for this kind of love at so late night. Keep us ticking, and we will meet you again for the deadline stream, and of course আমাদের আরো ভিডিও আসবে এবং কন্টেন্ট আসবে, so keep an eye on the page. But until then, I wish you all the very best with the game week preparation. Till then, take care guys.
Take care.
Good
Thanks
night,
for having
everyone.
us.
Take care.